Hey LSU fans, make sure you subscribe. Now let's get into this video.
I want to jump to this college draft stuff, bro, with Garrett Nussmeier. You know, his abdominal injury, you know, with his stock being up and down. It's been a whirlwind for him, but he admitted he really was dealing with a core injury. You know, like, I'm not sure if you ever dealt with a core injury, but, I mean, quarterbacks, it's difficult to throw the ball without your core, you know. So you think that, like, explain his play?
I think anybody that watched LSU, I think we all knew something was wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to remember, man, you know, he decided to come back to school.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I think the expectations, you know, that's what I think he kind of ran into the wall with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So once he got hurt, man, it's like, you know, it's like he's not even up. He's not even the same quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, but I think he was sort of still dealing with the same expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had to win games, you know. And I think as that season played out, you could kind of see the you know, just the unbalance, you know, between the offensive coordinator and Brian Kelly and all that started to come out as the season played out, right? And I think as a young quarterback, man, like that's a lot of pressure, bro. Like playing quarterback for LSU is a big deal.
It's a big
you
deal.
know. And so it was just unfortunate because, you know, you know, but I praise him too, right? Because he, you know, he never got in front of the media. He never said anything. He didn't throw any coaches under the bus. He sort of just took the punches.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been pleasant to sort of see him, you know, get healthy.
Yeah.
You know, have a great, you know, win Senior Bowl MVP and.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, I think he's going to kill it at the pro day, right? Because it's at LSU, and you know, they're able to sort of set up, you know, everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they sort of not set up a script, you know, every throw and stuff like that. So I see him sort of bouncing back, you know, and so you hope people don't, you know, sort of hold that year, this past year against him. You know, because I do think he's a really good player, he's a good quarterback. I said it a few weeks ago on the show in the Bayou. You know, if he can go to a program and sit behind somebody for a couple of years, I think that's the best pat forward to him. But like I said, I you know, I'm still under the impression that, you know, I wouldn't start him day one. I think he still got some development, some work to do. But it's been fun to see him sort of get back into like the headlines and.
Yeah.
You know, people talking about him again because he's a football kid, man. His dad's a coach, and you know he grew up in this shit his whole life. You know, so I think it means a lot to him. The passion is there, the leadership's there. We saw that playing through injuries at LSU, right? Just hope he's healthy, man, and he's able to sort of perform at the level that you know people expect. You know, so because I think a lot of people still think he could be a really good quarterback. Right. So I believe that too.
Let's look at it this way. You Tyrann Mathieu, you the quarterback for LSU. You go through what he went through kind of like injured. Do you like check yourself out or you just muscle through it? Because sometimes people don't. We speak on things, but we don't literally put ourselves in that person.
I think everybody's different. You know, I think some guys, you got some guys and they're going to self-preserve. And then you got dudes like me, who I'm a fucking just die out there. You know what I mean? And so, I think it's just those two tales. Like, you're going to have some dudes that you know, they wouldn't even want to put that type of shit on tape and because they're not, you know, 100%. But, you know, what I would tell those guys is once you get to the NFL, nobody's 100%.
Right.
Everybody's hurt.
Right.
So if you're not able to play through that as a, you know, 19, 20-year-old, it's definitely going to suffer at the next level.
Right. Yeah, when you're 27.
Because everybody banged up.
Yeah.
Everybody going to the training room once a week, whether it's for a massage or flush, you know, needles. They in there.
Right.
Hot tub, cold tub, like. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's just that, bro. You got some dudes that's just willing to lay it all on the line, and you know, if they die, they die. And you know, you got other guys that saying, hell no.
Right.
Y'all ain't about to fuck my money up.
Right. So that's kind of like how I want you to answer that question. Like, you the quarterback, and you like, man, shit. I know what I can do, but I know I cannot give y'all 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to, and we're fucking losing.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you
And me and the coach relationship is terrible too.
So you saying you would self-preserve?
Yeah, I would have self-preserved more than likely, and only because I say that because of what he was able to do at the Senior Bowl. You get a little bit healthy. You get able to say, okay, now I can show y'all what I'm capable of. Versus play super injured, put a lot of fucked up shit on tape.
Yeah. I mean, that's
erase it.
That's your opinion. I think that's your opinion.
Less tape is better than more tape that sucks.
It's fair, it's valid, but it's when you're a captain, when you're a team leader, when you like the highest NIL earner on a team, right?
Yeah, you got to figure a way out.
You gotta, it's not. And then too, what you sort of alluded to, the dysfunction with the coaches and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I don't show up, what would it really look like? So I think like from a leadership perspective, just a leader of a football team, like, you see all this shit getting on fire around you, and you gotta somehow like ride the ship, navigate the ship, and so that's what I said when I said earlier about it's a lot, I respect him. I got a lot of respect for him, and obviously playing quarterback in the NFL, like you're gonna be highly critiqued. You know what I'm saying? And so. But I'm absolutely cool with you motherfuckers talking about me having, sort of a down season when I was hurt. Mm-hmm. And I'm absolutely proud of the fact I didn't quit on the dudes that I told, I was going to ride with, So, I mean, any scout sit down in front of me, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to look him in his eye and I'm going to tell him. Because he probably never did no real shit like that.
Right, yeah.
So, you can sort of poke holes in them and talk shit about them, but when we get up from the table, you'll be able to realize, he's a bitch and I'm real, the real deal.
Right.
So
basically a lot of times you may not have the best talent that's getting drafted, but the character. Yeah,
the character. The character is what's gonna keep you in the league, bro. The character is what, ultimately got me. I signed I signed like 6 contracts in the NFL. Shit is nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And and the only thing, right? Well, I'm married now, so
yeah, I
gotta go to my wife.
I told him, I said, hey, bro, now I gotta ask that boy.
Let's see how that shit goes.
I gotta ask that boy, hey, man, can you have company for the weekend? Can we grill?
Hey, bro, T, can you give me some money? Let me ask Kendra.
Right, hold on. I'll get back with you. We'll get back with you.
What the fuck? It's like having a get out of jail free card.
Hey. But it is what it is.
Well, yeah, bro.
Man, what you think about Brian Kelly and them coaches? Like, you think they played a role in like protecting them players?
Well, I don't think he protected him in the way that that was because he would make certain comments after the game, and he would fucking like basically put it on him. Like, we got to get better quarterback play.
Right. Yeah.
We got to make that throw. We got to, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I think that's part of it, bro. Part of the reason why he lost that locker room too, right? Like that whole team, bro, that whole building knew what that kid was going through. Mm-hmm. Yet, I think Brian Kelly was sort of feeling the heat, right?
The scapegoat.
The first person he could think of to sort of carry that burden, it's unfortunate, bro, but he put that shit on that boy.
Yeah, 100%. And you knew it was hurt.
And that just wasn't gangster, bro. Like that just wasn't. No. You gotta think about it, bro. Some of these dudes 67 years old, still operating in that realm.
Right.
And I'm saying, once again, I'm raising my hand saying, boy, I don't want to be that guy when I'm 60.
Yeah. Because somebody's gonna hate you.
Yeah, come on, bro. Like, I just didn't respect that, I ain't had no respect for that, bro.
Right.
At all.